The job must be broken down detail by detail in the order in which it occurs. Only then can it be studied intelligently. Here we have a flow process chart. Let's begin by dividing it into three major sections: 1, 2, and 3. In the first section, write the operation, job, or process being studied. The subject being charted, whether man or material. In this case, it's material, a requisition. Let's remember that. Next, the person making the chart, the location of the job, and the date. Also, the chart number, the sheet number, and the number of sheets used. In the second section, in the column under details, write a brief description of each detail of the process. Now, what are you charting? A requisition. That's right. So let's disregard any activity of the person handling the material and write it in like this. If you were charting a person, you would note only what that person does. In this column, jot down in feet distances covered in transportation, and where advisable, note in this column the time in minutes. This completes a detailed description of the job. However, it tells only part of the story. These symbols are used to give a graphic picture of the flow of the job and are necessary in making your summary. Now let's take a closer look at these symbols to be sure we understand what each one represents. This symbol, the large circle, indicates an operation and is used when something is being created or changed, assembled or disassembled. As a rule, most activities where the use of the hands is concerned. For instance, typing a letter, operating a drill press, a requisition being signed, removing a tire, or something just being picked up. The next symbol, the small circle, denotes transportation and is used when an object is moved or a person moves from one place to another. For example, supplies transported in a truck, a man walking, papers being delivered, cargo flown in a plane. Next, we have the triangle to denote storage. This symbol is used when the subject remains in one place, awaiting action, such as a document in a file, material awaiting transportation, letters held for signature, or even a messenger sitting it out between messages. Last, we have the square to indicate an inspection, when an object is checked or verified for quality or quantity, but where no change is made, such as inspecting a rifle, a requisition being checked, verifying the tolerance of an airplane part, a questionnaire that is proofread, testing a motor, or even a mess sergeant tasting the soup to be sure it's properly seasoned. Now, getting back to the chart, let's apply the symbols that correspond to the details. Draw a connecting line from one symbol to another to show the flow or sequence of the various details. Next, block in your do operations. In this case, the do operation is the productive one of filling in the requisition. Your second and third operations here are simply put away. The fourth, a make ready for inspection. And finally, we have the third section of the chart, which is the summary of your breakdown. Operations, 4. Transportations, 1. Storages, 1. Inspections, 1. Man hours or minutes, 60 minutes. Distance traveled, 10 feet. Your next step is to question the job as a whole. What is its purpose? Why is it necessary? In this case, you decide it is necessary. So now, starting with the do operation, you question each detail of the job. What is its purpose? Why is it necessary? Where should it be done? When should it be done? Who should do it? How should it be done? Whenever a question is not answered satisfactorily, write that question alongside that detail. Now, moving over to the column for notes, write down any changes your questions may suggest. You may answer the question how by redesigning and simplifying the requisition form. The third detail, carried to in box, you decide can be eliminated by placing the box near the clerk filling out the requisition. The sixth item, requisition picked up, can be combined with item 2. You then decide to have the clerk fill out and check the requisition at the same time, which moves detail number 7 up to 3rd place. This completes the questioning, and you are now ready to write up the new method, so that all concerned will know exactly how you expect the job to be done. Beside the summary of your present method, add the summary of your proposed method and your savings. Whenever a job involves excessive walking or transportation, you'll find a flow diagram helpful. This is simply a bird's eye view of the layout of the area, with a line showing the movement of the subject you're charting. For example, let's take the layout of a small office. A paper is in the filing cabinet here. It is removed and taken to this desk for a signature. After being signed, it is carried to another desk to be checked. Then it is taken to this outbox, where it will be in storage until picked up. Remember, diagram only the same item or subject you followed on the flow process chart. Now, make an improved flow diagram, corresponding to your new flow process chart, illustrating your proposed method. Turn in your suggestion for the improvement with your new flow diagram and process chart. Now your suggestion can be quickly evaluated, thereby improving your chances for an award. Well, now we should know all about making out a flow process chart. But do we? Suppose we select some simple operation to follow on a flow process chart. Well, here's a likely subject, Private Wilbur Brown. And on KP again.
Liberty.
What happened this time, Wilbur?
Ah, heck, I was late to formation again. It takes me so darn long to shave.
That sounds like a job for a flow process chart.
A flow process chart on shaving?
Of course you can make out a flow process chart on any job. Besides, you need to shave again anyway.
Yeah, but I just... Hey. Very tricky.
First of all, we'll need a change of scenery.
Hey, that's all right.
Now, here's your chart
Yeah.
and a pencil. Start filling it in.
Let's see. Operation shaving. Subject charted, Private Wilbur Brown. Chart number 1, sheet number 1, charted by, self. Date, location, 10 area. Okay, now what?
Well, suppose we take the chart and put it back here, where we can all see it.
Well, I'll be darned.
All right now, Wilbur. While you're standing there, you're in storage. So let's get going.
Oh, yeah, gotta get my gear. some water. What the heck? No blade. Be right back.
Well, looks like we'll need a second sheet. This is a do operation, so we'll black it in.
Pretty good, huh? Well, that's it. See anything wrong?
What do you think? Take a look at the chart and see what you went through just to shave.
All this?
Exactly. And this flow diagram can show us just how much walking back and forth it took. Here's the shaving stand, the faucet, and the tent. You started here. Lots of running around, eh, Wilbur? But let's get back to the charts. Your next step is to question each detail. It's your ball now, Wilbur. You take it from here.
Okay, now what?
Here's a new chart. Now you're ready to develop a new method.
Okay, now what?
Let's have a look at it and see what changes you've made. Let's see. Picks up basin, places basin at faucet, picks up shaving materials, changes blade, picks up basin. Say, this is a real improvement, Wilbur, and it should indicate quite a saving up in the summary. Operations, 26. Transportations, 3. Inspections, 1. Distance traveled, 80 feet.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
I'll say it does. And it certainly goes to show that a flow process chart is the easy way to improve any job.
Roger. That makes 10 in a row. Say, this flow process chart works on anything.